please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. I've been listening to a bit of Doctor Who. Did you go say I was watching Doctor Who? I've been listening to a bit of Doctor Who. Out of Time 3 Wink, and it was really rather good. I would say better than rather good. Freaking excellent. Excellent. I would say 2022 has been a good year for Big Finish. Now, somebody in the comments really strongly disagreed with me the other day, and it's somebody whose opinion I really respect. I like this guy's opinion a lot. Look, for my mind, it's Big Finish were in a really bad nosedive over the last few years. I think as much of mainstream entertainment was. You may have noticed mainstream entertainment gets a lot less views, and they did say, well, it's because of Netflix and YouTube and no. It's because it's crap, right? Mainstream entertainment, en masse, went insane. Like, they went completely insane. They were very, very upset that Brexit, the vote went the way it did, and they're even more upset that Donald Trump became president. And they were just crazy. They were absolutely crazy. And pretty much everything being written was like some veiled allegory of fighting some evil totalitarian regime that didn't exist, that hated black people or hated women or hated gay people. I grew up in the 80s, right? I grew up in the 80s where not liking somebody based on their immutable characteristics was not a good thing. Like nobody in my social group would do that. And it was just completely socially unacceptable. So it was a bit weird after living in the 2000s, my generation somewhat took over the world. And I would say from 2000 to 2015, racism really wasn't a thing. Bigotry really wasn't a thing, right? You know, Barack Obama became president and nobody really cared, right? Oh, no, he's a black person. It was, no, it wasn't a big deal at all. But then from 2015 onwards, there's secret racists everywhere controlling the world. But the knock-on effect was, like, all the media was garbage for a couple of years, even more than that. Big Finish included, right? Big Finish had really, really ropey years. I think there was a big insistence of bringing in new writers based on their identity rather than their aptitude, and it showed in the product. I mean, we had really very, very bad releases. So, thankfully, I think they're out of that nosedive. I think the relaunches they've been doing across the board have been successful, right? I think they've been successful, and I really enjoyed them. Having said that, this release by Lisa McMullen, one of that new intake of writers. Now, why is the quality going to go down if you focus on a small subsection of your potential hiring pool? Because you only focus on a small subsection of your potential hiring pool. So then the only way to fill the product is by lowering the standards, which is what we saw. So this release, as I said, by Lisa McMullen, who came in with that intake of writers, as somebody whose work I hadn't really paid attention to before, I just assumed would be garbage. Awesome. This script is so freaking good. I can't wait to get into details with it. Before we get into it, can you hit the like button? Can you hit the share button? Can you hit that subscribe button? That would all be double dozy. We like you doing all those things. If you ever notice there's no new content on this channel for one day, just one day, it means I've been banned by YouTube. I say unspeakable heresies, right? Just the same sort. I say that, J.K. Rowling probably isn't pure evil, and they don't like it, right? Unspeakable heresies. Sign up to my Substack. It's in the the notes below. That will keep you updated where I'm on Rumble. I'm also on got a backup channel here. So if you ever go missing, that's how you can find me. I hope you try and find me. Thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe. Those things are fantastic. Sharing that YouTube likes the most right now. Comment. Honestly, YouTube used to like comments, and I used to like. That was great because I like it when you comment. So that means we can have a interaction, which isn't that the point of these things, right? Like, share, subscribe, comment, sign up to my Substack. It would be super nice. Sign up to my paid Substack. There's a lot of content going out on that this month after being really bad for the last 2-3 months. So yeah, all those things are great. Thank you very much. What else is great is Doctor Who Wink, right? Doctor Who Wink. Now, I know a lot of people will not buy a release with the Jodie Whittaker logo on it. It looks like they always give you alternate covers, and putting the David Tennant logo, it just fits, right? It'll just fit nicely. Great cover, by the way, right? I really do like this cover. It evokes the feeling of the release. The Weeping Angels look fantastic in it, and the Weeping Angels in this are fantastic. I put this, in terms of Weeping Angel stories, right up there with Flesh and Stone and, what's the Time of the Angels, is that what it's called? I can't remember, right? The Matt Smith two-parter, right? Which I think one of the best Weeping Angels uses. It took the original one and it built on them and built on them. And this does the same thing. It takes the concept of Weeping Angels and it gives you something new and interesting, and it works. It really, really fits nicely into it. The setting is also very good, and they do it. It's got a very limited cast. I think it's only 4 or 5 cast members. And you don't notice it, right? It doesn't feel empty. What it does feel like is a missing episode from David Tennant's final year, because it starts off with David Tennant's doctor's TARDIS trying to take him to, where's he go at the end? It's not Trenzalore. That's Matt Smith, isn't it? It's to meet the Ood. Why were the Ood involved in his regeneration? I never really understood that. I was just, look, my daughter was crying when she saw Rose again. You know, she was only little. Oh boy, did she cry when Rose was written out? Because she was a little blondie girl. She really related to Rose, but she was so excited. That's all I really remember. But anyway, the TARDIS is trying to drag him there, and he's just trying to do absolutely anything else than go there. So yeah, let's read the blurb. So I really don't want to spoil this more than they do, because I want you to get this release, right? Not only do I want you to get it, I want you to support Big Finish, because I like what they do, right? And again, this year I think it's been a real massive turnaround. I'm going to do, did I say this already? I can't remember. I want to do sometime this week a 6-month review. We're in June, a 6-month review of 2022 of Big Finish. I got to listen to the Colin Baker, his last release, which I didn't buy. So somebody actually sent it to me. So I said I'll make up in my head that I will buy it if I like it. But because the product's been pretty bad, I bought a lot of releases which are, I think they had no business in selling, quite frankly. So they still don't have like my faith and believability that they used to have. But hopefully, if they keep this up, they will certainly win it back. Anyway, this is my favorite script. My favorite one, of course, will be the Tom Baker one, because Tom Baker's in it. Again, doesn't take the only thing I didn't like about the Tom Baker one, I wish it had 2 discs. That one really, really deserves to be a 2-disc release. When the Sixth Doctor goes sightseeing on Lucidius Silvaria, he finds himself in a place where nothing is visible at all, only all-encompassing light. So you instantly get a feeling that you're in like what was it, the land of fiction, right? You get a feeling like you're in some kind of weird nether realm than that. It turns out not to be that, but it's really clever, right? It's really clever. The 10th Doctor is drawn in by a temporal anomaly. The 2 Doctors meet a species with no sense of sight, living in a city surrounded by weeping angels. So that was a really clever conceit, right? The entire species doesn't have sight, so they should be catnip for the weeping angels. To save the civilization, the Doctors must keep their eyes on the angels. Don't blink. Don't even wink. Winking is Colin Baker's plan. So this is a mild spoiler. If you don't want to hear it, turn off now. But okay, spoiler alert, folks. So one thing I really liked about this episode was that they were in a city that was walled by reflective material, right? Which means the weeping angels can't get in, because as soon as they get close to it, they see themselves and they're frozen, quantum lock, right? Again, really tying into the lore of the angels in an interesting way. Nothing else in an interesting way. Can an angel eat from a Time Lord, the same Time Lord, more than once, right? Which is something that's explored in this release in a very interesting way. But what I really like about this is the way that they nail the character of the angels, right? They are communicating much like in the Flesh and Stone episodes through a walkie-talkie, but they're casual cruelty, right? Their enjoyment of cruelty. I love that about these aliens, these villains. It was just absolutely fantastic. In terms of David Tennant sparring with Colin Baker, It's the least interesting of the three. I mean, the most interesting, of course, still Tom Baker, right? Definitely the most interesting three was Tom Baker. I think also interesting was Peter Davison, because you really felt David Tennant's love for for Peter Davison. Actually, you really felt his love for Peter Davison, even though I felt that script was much weaker than this one. Right, this was that was much more. I felt like a throwaway story. This was really good. Right, this was again one of the best Weeping Angel stories. Yeah, look, their interplay was okay. But they seem like colleagues rather than long lost friends or whatever. There wasn't like that like sparking love between them. I wouldn't mind hearing them do more of this stuff. But with the doctors that the Big Finish doctors, I like Stephen Noonan's first Doctor and David Tennant's 10th Doctor, be fantastic, right? Have put him with Tim Trelaw's third Doctor, or I guess you could do Fraser Hines. You could do, was it Michael Troughton? He's doing the second Doctor now. I would love to hear that, right? I would love to hear that, because I like to hear how this Doctor bounces off the other ones. And it's always fun, right? It's always fun. It just feels to me this should have been a box set of 3 discs, right? Rather than 3 stories released over 3 years, right? It was a long, long time. But still, this for me felt one of the most authentically David Tennant episodes they've done to date. See, the trouble I have with the David Tennant stuff on Big Finish is it's very, very throwaway, right? When they do like those box sets, it's all like these 3 stories that are always the minor stories in the season. You don't get like those big bombastic arcs going. Well, here you do get a big story, right? And that makes it much more memorable. But my problem was when they tried to do a big overarching story with Dalek Universe, they neglected to put the Daleks in it, which did annoy me a little bit, as they did sell it very hard on it being Daleks, right? And it was like, he got to the 3rd box set and we still hadn't had a Dalek story. I wasn't third and final box set, third and Dalek story. I was not happy, right? I was not happy. So this, I think, is probably one of the better of the releases. Lisa McMullen, I said, has launched herself into a must-listen to author. Please use her more, because this is fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Strong recommend. I'm going to give this one a 9.5 out of 10, which is a bold high rating indeed, right? It's only a bold high rating indeed. Strong recommend. Go check it out yourself. It's $8.99 on download. Totally worth it. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.